Lethal Company in 2025 might be completely different from what you remember. With new updates, new mods, and competition in the co-op horror scene, buying now might be a game changer or a mistake. So today, we'll break down everything you need to know before spending your money, so you'll know if Lethal Company is still worth buying in 2025. In Lethal Company, you'll take on the role of a contract worker hired by a mysterious corporate entity simply known as the Company. Your job is to scavenge abandoned industrial facilities across the galaxy, collecting valuable scrap to meet ever-increasing quotas. All these locations, once shining with life, are now eerily silent, overtaken by rust, decay, and something far more sinister lurking in the shadows. The Company offers no explanations, only demands, leaving scavengers to question why these facilities were abandoned in the first place and whether the dangers inside are worth the pay. But as the days progress, the job becomes more than just gathering scrap. It's a desperate fight for survival, fueled by the unsettling feeling that they were never meant to leave alive. So, Lethal Company's gameplay still delivers a one-of-a-kind experience in 2025. It really stands out from the sea of co-op horror games with a blend of tension, teamwork, and unpredictability. The core gameplay loop remained just as exciting as it was in the beginning, and the horror in this game isn't just about jump scares, which I really like. It's more about the unpredictability. Every run feels unique, thanks to the game's evolving AI. This ensures that no two encounters play out the same way. And as I said, recent updates have introduced even more dynamic monster behavior. They've also tweaked the movement over the years to make it more smooth, which really makes split-second escapes feel even more intense. And with adding new objectives, they added a layer of strategy beyond just grabbing the loot. Let's talk about the replayability, because in my opinion, it's stronger than ever. Whether you're playing with a seasoned veteran or a newcomer, it's a completely different experience obviously, but it's both fun. And if you thought it was terrifying before, 2025 has only made it even better. And with that, Lethal Company's multiplayer scene is still thriving, proving that this game isn't just a trend, but it has staying power. I mean, just look at YouTube, search up Lethal Company, and you'll see there are a lot of videos and a strong player base. Which is great because finding a game is still quick and easy, thanks to the active servers and the highly engaged community. But what really keeps the game alive is the shared experience. You can create some hilarious, some terrifying and chaotic moments that get clipped and shared across social media. And it continues to evolve, with custom lobbies, mods, and even role-playing groups adding new ways to enjoy the game. While some multiplayer games fade over time, Lethal Company's mix of cooperation and unpredictable scares has cemented its place in time. When Lethal Company first launched, it was really praised for its affordability. But does it still hold the same value today? And while the game's price may have increased slightly due to ongoing updates and additional content, it stands out compared to other co-op games like Phasmophobia or Devour. And while some newer horror titles have entered the scene like Content Warning, few capture the same blend of fear, teamwork, and hilarity. That said, early on, players had issues with lag, crashes, and inconsistent frame rate, which really broke the immersion in a game that thrives on its atmosphere. However, recently they seem to have addressed these concerns, with smoother frame rates and reduced crash rates, making for more polished experience overall. And in my opinion, on PC it's running far better, with no major hiccups even on a mid-range PC. I don't have a Steam Deck, but it also handles the game quite well, though you may have to tweak some settings for optimal play. And with potential console ports on the horizon, this could make it more accessible to a wider audience. It's important to notice that this game really shines in co-op mode, but in my opinion it's also still worth playing solo if you're up for a challenge. In solo play you get a much more intense, nerve-wracking experience, especially with the improvements to AI and the new mechanics. And because the game is unpredictable, it makes every moment feel more dangerous, especially because you're on your own. However, playing solo can feel a bit lonely at times, since the AI can't quite replicate the unpredictability of a bad teammate. The updates have definitely made solo play more balanced though, making it so now it doesn't really feel like a disadvantage. But if you can, just play co-op. The fun factor is amplified as you work together to outsmart the monsters and solve the puzzles. This game is designed to be played with friends, but it's not a deal breaker if you want to experience it alone. Either way, the game provides a decent balance for both playstyles, and the future of Lethal Company looks promising, as the developers have shown signs of continuing to support the game with new content and updates. I've searched, and while there isn't any official roadmap yet, there have been hints in community posts and patch notes about potential DLC or major content updates, which means that the devs really seem committed to improving and expanding the game's universe, which is great news for fans of course, and you might want to take it into consideration if you want to buy the game. That said, there has been a slowdown in updates compared to the early days, but that doesn't mean they're abandoning it. Given how active the horror scene is, there's a real chance that Lethal Company could get even more content, because it still feels like there's long-term support ahead, especially if the fanbase continues to stay engaged. And the future of Lethal Company's story is wide open for some possibilities. Fans have been theorizing about the game's backstory, with many speculating that upcoming updates might delve deeper into this lore, possibly expanding on the mysterious entities that haunt the players. I would think it would be cool if they reveal the origin of the company behind the terrifying events, and the motivation behind it. So there's major potential for a narrative expansion, possibly in the form of the DLC I talked about. So, to wrap things up, Lethal Company remains a standout in the horror co-op genre. It offers a mix of terrifying scares, engaging gameplay and a strong community. The game has evolved with updates that improve its replayability and performance, and with its active player base, it's still a blast to play, whether you play solo or with friends. And with the game frequently going on sale for about $6 on Steam, it's an absolute steal for horror fans looking for an immersive experience.